live across America. The PM Show with Mike Horn on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
PM Show, nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm your host, Michael Horn. Glad to have you with us. Joining us in the studio, always on the weekend edition, the famed Scott St. James, outstanding radio, television broadcaster, actor extraordinaire, sporting the brand new, for those of you that watch us on Roku Box and on Tiki Live and on YouTube, the beautiful new red CRN shirt. Welcome, Scott St. James.
I love this shirt. I do.
You look good in that. Remind me, I'll get you another one today, so you have a second shirt to wear. Then, in some kind of a weird hippie-esque type shirt that looks like it's got letters of AFL-CIO or something on. I don't know what it is. Paul Stern is here with us, our regular co-host of the show. What's that shirt you're wearing there, Paul? Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I am wearing part of the Affliction apparel.
Is that Affliction? Is that what that is?
It's part of the Affliction line that's available at your finer stores, including Macy's and Bloomingdale's.
It looks absolutely beautiful. Why don't you just take the shirt off? Might be better. We got a lot of news to talk about. Celebrity birthdays. Let's start off with that because our buddy Larry Minetti and his lovely wife Nancy Minetti always like us to find out about these. Just over the weekend, some people notably having a birthday today. I bring it up because Scott St. James, you went and saw this guy recently. You said he might be hanging him up. Also might not be touring anymore. We're talking about Kenny Rogers.
Yep.
He's 77 years old today. Scott?
What about him?
I just thought you could talk about him.
Well, I can go back 30 years with him, but you want me to tell the story about
No, I just thought he's 77. You think he should retire or not? I think he's too young. I agree with you.
I don't, but I think he's probably getting close to the time that he will in some way, shape, or form.
Listen to this. Harold Reed of the Statler Brothers, one of the great Statler Brothers, 76 years old today. Jackie DeShannon, 74. You know, the Glenn Hughes from Deep Purple and Black Sabbath, 63. These are so many people that are there and still at the young stages of their life, comparatively so, that I think Kenny should keep on going.
Well, I do too, but I think it's his choice, and it will be. It will be his choice, one way or the other. Well, when I saw him a few days ago, he's having a little trouble with his legs, and
you're winding up. That's what we wanted to hear.
Okay, but
he had a problem.
He can still sing. He can still sing very well.
Actress Kim Cattrall is 59 years old today. Who else do we have here having a birthday today? Brody Jenner from the Hills, 32 years old today. Casey Musgraves, 27. How about that little Hayden Panettiere? She's 26. 26 is all she is, and she's on that show Nashville.
Yep.
She seems older than that, doesn't she, for her 26 years?
Well, because she's been around that long. I think that's what makes her long. But you're right.
Thank you.
She does have that thing about her that makes her appear to be older.
There you go. And Valerie Harper is going to be this weekend, 76. Cindy Williams, 68. Holly Dunn, 58. Country singer Colin Ray, 55. Boy, so many great people having birthdays. Debbie Peterson of the Bangles. Mm-hmm. Remember Manic Monday?
I do.
Walk Like an Egyptian.
Yeah.
Maybe that's how Kenny hurt his legs. I don't know. 54 years old today for her. And so many more people here. We'll give a few more shouts out. This is the PM Show. It's the weekend edition on CRN. Paul, you're staring at me like you're in disbelief of the birthday.
I don't think Kenny Rogers was walking like an Egyptian. I don't think that's how he got anything hurt, to be perfectly honest.
Well, you start doing those
yesterday.
I just St. James.
Not a dignified look for the gambler, if you ask me.
Straight ahead, we continue here on the PM Show. I'm Michael Horn with our great group here on CRN.
There are two types of water heaters, thankless and tankless. The thankless kind work like this.
Mom, I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
Whoa, hold off on that. I'm hopping in the shower.
Is this a good time to turn on the dishwasher?
This is not a good time to turn on the dishwasher.
Renai's Tankless water heaters, on the other hand, work this way.
I'm throwing in a load of laundry.
No problem. I'm hopping in the shower.
Rinnai's innovative tankless water heaters provide an endless supply of hot water whenever you need it, even for multiple tasks at the same time. Plus, they feature a space-saving design and ultra-efficient performance for monthly energy savings. So enjoy hot water that's always ready when you are.
Is this a good time to turn on the dishwasher?
Go for it.
And never discourage your children from washing dishes again. Rinnai tankless water heaters, the hot way to heat water. Learn more about Rinnai's industry-leading products at www.rinnai.us. That's RINNAI.us.
PM show nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. Hope you'll enjoy this show throughout the weekend, and we do the show live Fridays at 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern. You can catch us on Roku. If you got one of those Roku boxes you buy at like Costco or Best Buy or whatever, you can tune in and look at it in the studio live. And we are broadcasting here on the PM show. I'm Michael Horn, Scott Saden, James Paul Stern, and I think we need to get a lighting director in here. I think Fred Dreyer needs to come in and reset the lights. I think they're too high. I think, obviously they should be just a straight on shot. And, I have this argument with our lighting staff, but nobody seems to know. We're trying to do a couple of things. And then Brad, who produces the Larry Elder Show, said that they're the absolute wrong lights. So I don't know. We got these. So are you taking a phone call while we're on the air, Paul Stern? Paul.
No.
Mike,
I
feel like I'm back in Mrs. Alfhauser's third grade class. Are you taking a phone call?
It was a private number, and I just didn't.
What is wrong with you? We're doing a radio show. Are you like doing your Chevy Chase impression there, talking to somebody on the phone? Yeah, that's I'm on the radio. I am on televiation.
Mike, I'd like to back up
Thank you.
Just for a second.
Please,
about music.
Back up
you
on
were,
that
you were
call.
talking about musicians.
Yes, I was.
I just want to add one other thing. Meryl Streep. Have you seen this new movie of hers?
No, and you're a movie guy. So what is this the one where she's a rock star?
Yes. And
I find that a stretch. Maybe she's good at it, though.
And I saw that a few days ago. She's a rock and roll singer in this thing. And it is just terrific. I mean, she is
you're
just
going
up
crazy
and down.
on this thing now,
well, she
Scott.
is. She's playing with a big guitar and singing and sounds terrific.
Well, I think
looks terrific.
With a big guitar, but that's another story.
She's got 20, Oscar nominations, and there's a reason for that. But
I thought she was best in that romantic thriller with Clint Eastwood, where she was stuck in a bridge or something, somewhere in Madison County.
But she's been
that
good
was
in
an
all of them.
action-packed film.
Yeah. My favorite, by the way, I hate to take up your time, but my favorite happened to be the Silkwood. I thought that was a great film. Karen Silkwood.
Through taking your calls there. So this new one is great. Is that what you're saying, Scott?
Flash. Ricky the Flash.
Is this what it's called? Ricky the Flash?
Is the name of the movie, yes.
And is she Ricky?
Yes.
And so what is the deal? Is it like she's an aging rock star? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and just terrific. And there's a big singer and a guitar player, and I can't think of his name right now. But those two were true. But
she's
especially
like Debbie
her.
Peterson of the Bangles, who's 54. Is that what she's supposedly playing? Or a little older than that in the film?
But in real life, I think she's 67.
I don't want to go and give her ages out.
But it doesn't matter because she gets there, and you see it doesn't matter how old she is. She is just on top.
Well, she was also with Clint Eastwood, but that was another.
True.
I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
Has been all of her life.
Yeah, thank you. I don't know why our rim shot. Nothing seems to be working here today in the show. It's just not working.
Say, is this thing on?
Is this thing on? Is it on? It's
not.
Somebody's disconnected everything here. It just doesn't work. Yeah, you have to look at everything that's here. Also, I wanted to mention the Holly Dunn is 58. She's a country singer. Mm-hmm. We also have Mila Mason is 52. James DeBarge, remember that group DeBarge? 52 years old today. Ty Burrell, the actor that's on Modern Family. I love that guy. I think he's pretty funny. He's having a birthday this weekend. So if you're Kristen Wiig is 42. And this is so many. Vera Miles, there's one from out of the past. Very ancient actress, and she is 85 and still going strong. Barbara Eden is 84 on Sunday.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, Rex Allen Jr. is 68. There's so many great birthdays here in the month of August. Are these all Leos? Is that Rick Springfield is 66? All these Jay Moore.
He was in the movie, Rick Springfield. That's the guy I couldn't think of.
Speak to the Sky. Remember he had that big song?
No, the big song was Jesse's Girl.
Jesse's Girl. Thank you very much. Right. You got it there.
That was his biggest.
So that's good. Anyway, happy birthday to everybody. Let's get into some of the news of the day. Scott, obviously you're checking out some movies. There is a petition out right now that's asking for Jon Stewart to moderate the presidential debate. He's in retirement, but more than 150,000 people are calling on Jon Stewart to moderate a presidential debate for this next year, 2016. It's a change.org petition, was launched about 2 weeks ago on the Commission on Presidential Debates to consider him as a moderator. I think that's the stupidest idea I heard.
I disagree.
Guy's obviously a dumb comedian, and he's going to try to be funny. And I think they need news people in there. That's what this is about. You're going to be making fun of it.
I think
Bob Schieffer should be doing it. You're right.
I agree with that, but I think that this guy's not a bad choice.
Come on.
I really
He's a lib. He's a lib.
I don't care about that. I don't care on either side of it.
Yeah.
But I'm talking about somebody who can get in there and do it. But you're right about Schieffer.
Schieffer would be great, wouldn't he? He's kind of like a dad for the country. I don't care whether he's lib and conservative. It's just Schieffer.
Yeah. Does anybody know what happened with that last Fox debate? I mean, I hate to kind of rehash old stories, but now that you begin to think about it, the people moderating and hosting the debate almost a glazed over look on it.
Well, not Megyn, or I should say not Megyn Kelly. She had it wasn't glazed over. She was going for the jugular. But Bill, what's his face, and Martha McCallum were doing a good job.
Oh, no,
I thought the beginning. That's the first debate. They did a good job.
Yeah, I'm referring
Bill
to
Hemmer.
Thank you,
Bill Hemmer.
One with the Chris Wallace and
Wallace always thinks he's his dad. He's kind of like
he's kind of goofy,
trying to go for it. He's all right. Chris Wallace is okay.
Brett Baer
is. I thought he was about the best of the bunch. Megyn Kelly surprised me because she corrected some of the candidates, and I believe when you're a newsman, you shouldn't correct them. You should just read your question and go for it. And Michael Reagan was asked by the next debate coming up. He gave the debate guy that's going to be doing it for CNN or whatever a couple of great questions. We're going to see if they'll be asked. One of which was, are you pro-choice or not pro-choice? And then put yourself in this position. If you had a daughter and she was pregnant and you had your decision, whose choice would it be to have the baby? And obviously it's the daughter's choice. So I guess that makes you pro-choice, even though you may want to have the right to life. That's a very philosophical question, isn't it, to think about that? I mean, who's got the ultimate choice on that child? It still is the mother has to decide, but, I guess you can have the law come in and tell you what you can and can't do or whatever. So there's your question.
I agree with you that wholheartedly. Yeah. It is her choice.
It's interesting philosophical thing, the debate. It would be a good debate question.
Many years ago, a woman made the choice that she didn't want it, and it killed me for a while. But I
wait a second, Scott.
I stand by that.
Hold on a second.
I stand by that. I'm saying I stand by that.
That's a sad thing you're saying right now.
It is sad. It is sad, and it bothered the heck out of me. But I've always taken the position that it is her choice. She knew how I felt about it, but it is, in my view.
What if she had the baby and gave it to you and you raised the kid? I mean, what would be wrong with that if you wanted to?
What I'm talking about is in this particular case, she didn't want to have a child.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, and you're asking me what?
What if she would have had that child and then you raised the child or something, or somebody raised the child for her?
Well, if that's how it would have happened, that isn't how it happened.
I know, but that would have made you happy, right?
But it didn't get to that.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So this is the great philosophical question. We could talk about this for the next 2 years.
Oh yeah, no, but I do believe in that it's her choice.
Anyway, I think Jon Stewart as just retire, Stewart. Make your movies or whatever you're going to do. Be like Ice Cube.
Why should Rod Stewart retire? He's doing good.
No, not Rod. This is his brother, Jon Stewart. Are they related, by the way? I didn't know. Didn't know if that's true. Rod and his brother, Jon Stewart. Yeah, now, maybe they should I would like Rod Stewart to do it because he looks like he doesn't know what's going on. He would ask great questions.
He's playing Las Vegas. He's performing all of his hits. He's doing great.
That's good.
Mike, I don't think he should necessarily be hired, but I think that he would be good, but I don't think he will be hired.
Scott St. James with the final word there for you on the PM show. I'm Michael Horn along with Scott and Paul Stern.
When you head out for fun in the sun this summer, make sure you're protected and connected with enough sunscreen and data to cover all your summer moments. I'm Risa Jill Miller. Net10 Wireless is now offering 5 gigabytes of data at 4G LTE speed and unlimited talk and text on America's best networks to all customers for only $50 a month. So you'll have more of what you need to keep up your fun in the sun. That means more data to capture all those fun summer memories. Did you know that 5 gigabytes gives you over 5,000 photo uploads or more than 90 hours of music streaming time? You can keep busy all summer long sharing special summer moments or just relaxing knowing you're still connected. More data equals more memories. With no contracts and no credit checks, there are no surprises, unlike that pesky burn from too little sunscreen. Net10 Wireless is easy to find at 100,000 retailers across the country, including Best Buy, Kmart, Walmart, and more. It's also available online at net10wireless.com.
Do you owe the IRS money? Do you have years of unfiled returns? Has the IRS garnished your wages or put a lien against your house? The IRS has the power to make you pay back what they claim you owe and will stop at nothing to collect. If you are losing sleep over your IRS tax problem, there is a solution. Call Signature Tax now. Speak with our professionals and feel the weight of your tax burden lifted from your shoulders. Call 800-543-1427 for your free and confidential analysis on ending your tax nightmare. We can help get your life back on track and give you the fresh start you deserve. Our A-plus BBB rated tax resolution team has over 125 years of combined experience to get you the best deal possible while stopping the IRS dead in their tracks. Call Signature Tax now at 800-543-1427. Call 800-543-1427. Again, that's 800-543-1427. 800-543-1427.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right. For you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right. In Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
PM show, weekend edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Michael Horn, Scott St. James, Paul Stern. Gentlemen, Megan Fox has filed for divorce. I don't know if you heard this story or not, trending for you today. Megan Fox filed for divorce. She announced her separation from her husband, Brian Austin Green. She's, I don't know what the deal is there. She cites irreconcilable differences as the cause. They're asking for joint physical and legal custody of their 2 sons. TMZ broke the story. There's no prenup, so the earnings during their 5-year marriage or community property divided 50-50. They've been through 11 years, and so we'll see what's the deal there. It's sad when anybody breaks up. Gene Simmons was in the news. Now, he was away from his home, and it was raided for a child porn. Now, he is not a suspect. Gene Simmons apparently not a suspect, but his house was raided Thursday morning. The police looking for evidence of child porn, although they're saying that Gene and his family are not suspects, but the LAPD's Internet Crime Against Children Task Force executed a search warrant at 8 a.m., and we're told the police seized computers and other evidence, and they say someone downloaded child porn either on one of the computers using their Internet access. We're told that neither Gene Simmons nor anyone in his family were considered suspects. And Shannon Tweed tweeted, "Thanks for your support. We couldn't be more horrified that someone used our residence for such crimes. Law enforcement is on it. Good night, and don't forget to change your passwords." So that's a good key to think about there as well.
I hate to be kind of like a Rand Paul or something, but I'm a little bit concerned that how would law enforcement know what's going on?
I don't know, but there was a rumor that they found Hillary Clinton's server in the garage.
I mean, I don't know.
That's from what I heard.
It just seems rather strange that that they don't suspect Gene Simmons or any member of his family, and yet the police are like walking into the guy's house and taking his computer.
Exactly. So I don't know what the deal is on that.
This isn't like one of those, I hate to call it one of those Jared Fogle things where there's obviously some kind of trail of evidence, but it doesn't appear that there's any evidence at least they're talking about.
No, just keep your eye on it. That's all I got to say. You know, maybe Hillary Clinton had this weird server because doesn't she use one of those BlackBerries? And people don't use, they're archaic now, aren't they? BlackBerries. Right, Tomas, is that correct? So if I was Hillary Clinton, this would be, first I'd lose the orange suit, because every time she gives a speech and she's in an orange suit, she looks like she's starting to serve the sentence already and serving time. So I would tell Hillary to get rid of the orange suit, and then I'd say, hey, I had to do it because I used a BlackBerry and it just didn't work with the secure site. So I had to go ahead and download everything at the Rite Aid drugstore, where I also get my pictures printed. That's what I would say, and I'm sure everybody would buy it. At least the libs would. They'll do anything she says, she spoon feeds it out there, they'll suck that right up. So there you have it. By the way, you know, guys like, remember that president that we had, that Richard Nixon guy?
Yeah.
He erased just like a few minutes of tape from one of his tape recordings, and he was nearly impeached. Hillary, like, can't even find her hard drive, and she's still running for president. I don't get it. There's some sort of a problem there.
Well, the FBI is supposedly looking into this, and so we'll see. I mean, I don't know one way or the other. The Nixon case, I mean, you know, people found out about that, and it was, you know, and somebody proved it.
President Nixon used to sweat profusely, and you know what they say, according to Ron B., when you start to sweat, you're near the end. And he used to sweat profusely right under the nose when he would give his speeches and things, and it would perspire. And I don't know if we've done any of the perspiration test on Hillary Clinton, but maybe someone should stand around there and just see what's going on. I know we had a gentleman in the office today that had a gas problem, but that's a whole other thing. I don't think he was nervous about anything.
Well, no, that's just a digestive issue.
All I can tell you about Richard Nixon is that when he came on when he came on the Autry special,
Gene Autry, you worked for the famed cowboy.
For me.
Wait a second, hold on.
He wasn't sweating or anything.
Okay, so Richard Nixon, former president of these United States of America, was on a radio special you, Scott St. James, produced about the legendary Gene Autry.
Yes, he was one of many.
You interviewed him?
He was one of many. Yes.
Would he sit down and go, Scott, I am not a crook.
No, and he
was. I am not a crook.
He was great. He came on and talked a lot about baseball. He was great.
That's what I heard.
But all these guys were that came on for that thing.
I don't know about all of them.
Well, I did it. So
Obama seems to take a lot of vacations when, you know.
Well, he wasn't on the show.
ISIS is ready to cut everybody's throats, and he's out there vacationing, another one of his vacations. Okay. I've never seen a president vacation more than this current guy, this Barack Obama. He's always somewhere on vacation, playing golf, doing something. I mean, when George Bush wasn't around for something, they just hung him upside down by his heels. But this seems like this Obama gets a lot of off time. You know what? If he's got so much off time, why doesn't he go to some barber and get his hair dyed? It's awfully gray.
Didn't they used to call?
We'll have to talk to him about it.
I think
thank you, Scott.
Didn't they used to call Nixon?
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I think
didn't
they used to call Nixon Tricky Dick?
Yes.
I am not a crook.
Yes.
I am not Tricky Dick. I am the president. I am not a crook.
True, but I liked him. I had a good time with him, especially with that interview.
Did you ever have Lyndon Baines Johnson on?
He was passed, but I had his wife because he had died. He had died.
My fellow Americans. I come to you tonight.
Ronald Reagan was on that show with me. I could go on and on and on.
There you go again, mentioning my name.
He was terrific.
Yes, I am.
He was terrific.
I wish I was still running because people would vote for me.
Yeah.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now, 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Are you worried about losing your home to foreclosure? If you've been threatened with foreclosure or receive legal papers from your bank, you have approximately 30 days to respond. If you do not respond, you could lose your home. You have rights. Act now to protect your rights. You can stay in your home. Many times you can even modify your loan. The bottom line is you can get past this, but you must act right now. If you've been served by your bank and you're worried about losing your home to foreclosure, now is the time to fight back and save your home. Time is limited, so call the professionals at National Foreclosure Defense right now.
800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. 800-515-6309. That number again is 800-515-6309.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Located in the heart of Maui's premier resort, Ka'anapali Beach Hotel is officially recognized as Hawaii's most Hawaiian hotel and the #1 best value in Hawaii. With a range of accommodations and affordable dining options, this is the ideal setting to turn Hawaiian dreams into lifelong memories. Live Hawaiian entertainment every evening, free year-round children's programs, weekly arts and crafts fairs, welcome breakfast, and departure kukui lei ceremonies add to the value. Swim in the whale-shaped pool, indulge in the fabulous spa and hotel salon. Enjoy Hawaiian hospitality at its best at the Ka'anapali Beach Hotel. Call 800-262-8450 or go to kbhmaui.com. That's kbhmaui.com. Aloha.
Ka'anapali Beach Hotel, Maui's Hawaiian Hotel.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. I need to get my kids ready for back to school.
Well, Staples has everything they need at low prices, like comp books for just 50 cents, so they'll be 110% ready.
Wait, that's 10% more ready than totally ready.
Yep.
That extra 10% evens it all out.
Sorry?
Well, I'm usually 10 minutes late getting them to school, so.
That doesn't even it out.
Yeah, sure it does.
Make low prices happen. Make 110% ready happen. Staples. Make more happen. Staples filler paper is just 75 cents all season long.
Limit 30 per customer in-store. Limit 10 per customer online with $25 minimum purchase. Ends 9/12/15.
Hi, this is Fred Dreyer. Join me and Michael Horn on the PM Show Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, here on CRN Digital Talk. We talk about things in the sports world nobody else does. So listen in to me and Mike at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on CRN Digital Talk. And go to crntalk.com for more information on other show times. And don't forget to take us with you by downloading the CRN app on the App Store.
PM Show Weekend Edition on CRN Digital Talk Radio. You know, you're doing a great show here, by the way. I'm Michael Horn along with Scott St. James and the great Paul Stern. When your producer-engineer has his back to you throughout the entire broadcast. You notice that? Tomas pressing the buttons in there, not looking at us, just has his back to us. I think he's watching the Jetsons there on his... I think he got Hulu or something on there. Our executive producer is Courtney Cadera. By the way, this bulletin in, apparently... President Barack Obama is going to be a new remake of a TV show called 8 is Enough.
Well, that's going to happen anyway. We know
that. Can't wait to get him out of office. That's why the show is called 8 is Enough.
Okay, well, but we know that's going to happen anyway.
It's a little joke there, Scott.
Okay, well, no, it is.
You did this documentary or whatever for Gene Autry, and you had Lady Bird Johnson, former First Lady, that you interviewed. Richard Nixon was around when you were doing it. Mm-hmm. Gerald Ford, right? Mm-hmm. You had Jimmy Carter.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter, you had Ronald Reagan, right? And so they were all great.
And I've probably left out a few, but it's but anybody who was around, I got
Millard Fillmore, was he available at the time?
I missed him.
Just wondered if you had him. Kelly Clarkson in the news, and she is made a tearful announcement in the middle of a concert she gave in Los Angeles. She's pregnant. She broke the news to the crowd at the Staples Center show Wednesday night. She said she decided to come clean because she was getting emotional while singing her song Piece by Piece. And she joked that she didn't want the fans to think she was on pills. So she and her husband, Brandon Blackstock, have been told really that many people she made the announcement. Now, I saw Shania Twain this week. My lovely daughter took me out for a belated Father's Day gift. And that Shania Twain, she can really bring it, let me tell you. She's having a birthday coming up on the 28th. And I think she's going to turn some magic number or whatever, but she was looking great. About 3 costume changes. She rides around like a Pope mobile all around the whole auditorium. She gets up on this big crane on one of those bucking bronco kind of things and just glides over and above your head all over the whole stage. There's fire, pyrotechnics, all that stuff. It's a great show.
Oh, one of my very, very favorite performers. I saw her a couple of months ago.
Shania Twain in Vegas. Did you go?
No, I didn't go. No, I was on television. I saw it.
Okay.
But just great. But every time I've ever seen her on there, she's just great.
Well, you were watching some things on television. You said Elvis was in Hawaii, and we had to break the news to you that was a rerun. but she is great. Shania Twain is fabulous. She's really good. Now, how about this whole thing, this Jared Fogle, this guy that supposedly dumped all this weight by eating Subway sandwiches. And I always kind of was suspect about the guy because for years, Scott, Paul, audience, I have eaten lots of sandwiches, and I've never lost any weight. I mean, I've gone with a sandwich for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, and I'm telling you, I have never dropped 1 solitary pound on the sandwich diet. So when you see this Johnny-come-lately, this Jared Fogle comes in there and supposedly dumped all this weight from a size 53 pant or whatever he had down to like a size 36 or something, I was suspect. You know? I've been trying to lose weight with a sandwich diet for years. I've tried all different types of bread, different pastrami's. I've tried corned beef. I've done the Reuben. I've done the grilled cheese 10 different ways. I have done sandwiches that make your head spin, and I haven't found one.
Mike,
that has caused any type of even anything just to rock the meter a half an ounce on the scale. No sandwich ever has done anything for me.
Mike,
and this big fatto, this Gerald Fogle. Obviously, the guy Fogle. I mean, there's a problem.
Mike, in case you don't...
Please, Scott.
Well, in case you don't know, you've always been known as a suspect, so I don't know what we're talking about here.
Well, Gerald Fogle, listen to this thing here. His wife says she was blindsided by the severity of the charges against her husband because she sent him packing about the same time the prosecutors charged him with having sex with minors. This guy's a freak. Yeah, here, this Katie Fogle filed divorce papers Wednesday, and according to the documents, of course, she's probably made a fortune off his advertising. The documents TMZ got hold of, she lists the date of separation as the same day. Prosecutors were holding their cards very close to the vest until they filed formal legal charges yesterday detailing Jared's sexual liaisons with underage children, with girls. I mean, this guy is a freak-o. And she announced the other day she was going to divorce Jared, and so there you have it. Guy is probably going to go to jail and just balloon up.
That's what usually happens
right now. There's going to be some sort of a problem. But this is bad for Subway. You know, I think about it now, and I'm watching, you watch that Dodger channel over there, Sportsnet LA, and they got Clayton Kershaw saying that he eats a Subway sandwich before every game.
Yeah.
If I was him, I'd dump that whole thing.
Yeah, maybe he will.
I will get rid of those things. Yeah. Like they make you pitch a no-hitter or something? Come on.
Yeah.
Paul, you think they're going to go out of business, don't you? So you're just being really quiet over there.
Well, I've never been a big fan of Subway to begin with, so I don't want to kind of pile it on during their time of unhappiness, but you know, I gotta have some kind of, I don't know if I have compassion or if I have a kind of anger towards the woman that married this Jared Fogle. At first I kind of thought it wrote her off as to being some kind of almost a gold digger. And now I begin to kind of almost pity the woman to think that she was married to this loser, this disgusting human being.
Well, you know, all that said, come on. Take a smart pill out there. You can't lose weight with sandwiches. Take it from Uncle Mike here.
Yeah, but
I think I'm going to go and get some pastrami on rye with maybe some cheeses, 5 different Italian cheeses, and melt that on there.
What type of bread do you want with that one, too,
Some
Mike?
kind of a real heavy pumpernickel.
Well, the food in general is good.
Anybody got mayo?
Do you want avocado on that, too?
Oh, gosh, yes. Come on.
I had one of those big tuna fish
Did
sandwiches
you really?
today over there.
Yeah,
No, seriously.
Breathe on me. Like, oh, yes, you did. I can tell. Those tuna fish sandwiches are really good because they can smear that on there and you can add some more stuff.
Yeah.
So anyways, good. Now, here's this, I hate to bounce around here on this Megyn Kelly, but she sort of questioned the candidates, especially Donald Trump at the last debate. And then she had this big expose with, was it the Josh Duggar? Is that the guy?
Duggar.
Josh Duggar. He was on there and was fessing up about the shenanigans friends and the family and stuff. And so now Josh is saying he's the biggest hypocrite ever. Apparently he's like, he says he's fessing up to having a secret addiction to porn, and he admits he's been cheating on his wife while living a double life. So first he denies all this stuff, goes on the Megyn Kelly show, and he goes, oh yeah, poor Josh. Looks like everything was dealt to him wrong. The same thing happened to Fogel. I wonder if this Duggar, is it Duggar? Duggar? What is it? He's not a do-gooder.
I can't say the same thing.
I don't even know.
But anyway, he is apparently in trouble now. He's his name was on that Ashley Madison list. Have you seen that? Oh. I hope mine's not on there. I don't think I've ever gone on that website ever. But they tried to advertise here one time, remember? They have that little name like Ashley Madison, like, oh wow, sounds like a nice name, Ashley, and it's like some kind of a cheater site.
Yeah, my name's on the Madison list.
Is it really?
Yeah, the Dolly Madison.
Mine's on the Madison, Wisconsin list. I did get some information there from the city.
Do they still have Dolly Madison?
I believe so.
What would an extra $250 a month mean to you? For some, it's a little financial breathing room. For others, it's a car payment, a home repair, or help with college tuition. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans, and I've got some great news if you're looking to save money on your mortgage. All it takes is a simple phone call to Quicken Loans at 800-QUICKEN to see if you qualify for the government's Home Affordable Refinance Program, or HARP. Folks who refinance with HARP can save an average of $250 a month. That's $3,000 a year. Our home loan experts fully understand the HARP guidelines, and they'll walk you through our streamlined process. And for 5 years in a row now, J.D. Power has ranked Quicken Loans highest in the nation in customer satisfaction. And this year, for the first time, they've also ranked us highest in mortgage servicing. Call 800-QUICKEN or visit QuickenLoans.com.
Visit jdpower.com for award information. Important terms and conditions apply. Call us for cost information. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states and MLS number 3030.
Got a lot on your to-do list? Now, during Kubota's Power to Do Great Things sales event, get a great deal on an L3301 or 3901 tractor with a live continuous running rear PTO. Now get financing as low as 0% APR for up to 5 years. And great customer instant rebates when you buy a new L3301 or 3901 and 2 implements. Now through September 30th, 2015. Call toll-free 1-888-465-8268 for details about cost and terms. For more information or to find a participating dealer, visit Kubota.com.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. I need to get my kids ready for back to school.
Well, Staples has everything they need at low prices, like comp books for just 50 cents, so they'll be 110% ready.
Wait, that's 10% more ready than totally ready.
Yep.
That extra 10% evens it all out.
Sorry?
Well, I'm usually 10 minutes late getting them to school, so.
That doesn't even it out.
Yeah, sure it does.
Make low prices happen. Make 110% ready happen. Staples. Make more happen. Right now, one subject notebooks are just 17 cents each.
Offer valid in-store only while supplies last. Limit 30 per customer. Ends 9/12/15.
PM show nationwide, coast to coast, CRN Digital Talk Radio. I'm Michael Horn, Scott St. James, Paul Stern with us, going through some of the news stories of the week. So this Josh Duggar, I mean, this guy, apparently he was espousing faith and family values, and he says, I'm the biggest hypocrite ever. I've secretly, over the last several years, been viewing pornography on the internet, and thus became a secret addiction, and I became unfaithful to my wife.
Why is he telling anybody this?
Yeah, really, it's just nuts. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I mean, he's trying to make a buck off of it or something?
Stay away from reality shows. They're creepy. Reality shows are just, they are, right?
Yeah, they are.
They are creepy.
Yep.
Nothing even creepier, the fact that the guy goes around and has, he said he had an affair? What did he say? Looks at pornography? And then he goes ahead and tells people that are going to be automatically upset by what he tells them. It makes no sense at all.
Here's this guy, one of the lead runners in the Republican presidential candidates, Ted Cruz, is out at the Iowa State Fair this week. He was going to talk to a lot of voters about a range of social issues. And one of this, Ellen Page, confronted him about lesbian, gay rights, that sort of thing. And the senator didn't exactly talk that much about the debate, but she waited to confront him in front of the TV cameras. This is what the libs do, and I'd love to see them do this to Donald Trump because he'll reduce them to toothpicks. I'm so tired of these lib groups out there that like to get up and do this and this whiny stuff, and nobody really cares. It's like, it's a free country and everybody can do what they want to do. So, this Ellen Page, apparently just tried to cause some shenanigans, and I believe Ted Cruz rose above it. But it's like they try to just destroy things. Have you noticed that in the news thing? They try to make a big deal about stuff.
I'm well aware of that. The only thing I care about her is that she's a terrific actor, and that's all I care about.
She should stay doing that, right?
The rest of this stuff, if she's got a thing,
she's got an itching for politics. Run for office, like Donald Trump,
and or whatever. And then if you got a gripe and you want to pass it on. We all have the opportunity to do that, and so as long as you're not throwing stuff at people or anything else, I mean, so you just let it go. And if he decides to walk away from you, that's okay.
Yes, it's true.
So, I don't have a problem with it. I know the story you're talking about. All that matters to me really with her is that when I find out she's in a movie, I go watch it. Because she's good. But other than that, the rest of that stuff, well, that's, that's your thing. Okay.
Yeah. Ted Cruz has his thing. It's like you're pro-choice, you're not pro-choice. It's, that's, it's your own, you make your own, live your own life.
Everybody knows Ted Cruz is as conservative as they come. I mean, he's kind of has his whole career has been based in conservatism. So.
Yeah, what would Ellen Page say if I stood in front of Hillary Clinton in her orange, jailbird jumpsuit and started saying, hey, I think you're a liar and you screwed over the country and you caused those guys in Benghazi to go ahead and die because you didn't get there in time. I think you were a lousy Secretary of State. And why can't we look through all your hard drive material and quit lying about it?
Well, maybe.
And it's over and over again. Somebody should do that to Hillary Clinton.
Well, maybe somebody will.
Well, they haven't. And she can walk away from that if she wants to.
There's room for a lot of people to do it.
There's true. It's
so it says if it doesn't happen, it's their fault.
You're right.
What's the point, though, of asking a question when you already know the answer?
That's true. That's true. Okay, so Oprah Winfrey has got some favorite things here. Apparently, the Oprah Winfrey Network announced that they've launched their first retail site, and it's called the O Store. For Oprah Winfrey. There was a guy he's probably still on the air in the Midwest. Orion Samuelson used to give the Farm Report, and he was called the Big O. And I wonder if he's ever filed a lawsuit against Oprah for using his initial. Because he was the Big O. He's the Big O. And this is Oprah Winfrey's got her O Store. Anyway, and she's got the OWN network, and the president there, Eric Logan, said the idea for the store was born out of the fact that we had an amazing product line. Peace, Love, Oprah, we developed for the tour in collaboration with Peace, Love World. We had so many requests how to get it that we started talking about other items. We've always heard people who always wondered what they were looking for. They told us what they wanted. It seems the merchandise on this site ranges in prices so fans can participate. You can purchase a $22 mug, a $375 Swarovski perfume set. To be honest, it's a little pricey for a mug, $22, but that's what they cost now when you go to Hollywood, right? And so it's all the listing there. I don't know why we're plugging this on the show. People will probably go there and buy it. Do we get a percentage? No.
Anybody actually watched the O Network? I can honestly say that I don't think I've ever seen a program.
I've never watched a show on it, and I think it's on my cable system. I'm not sure. Are you a big fan of the O Network?
No, but I'll tell you something. She doesn't care because look at what a career she's had, and if we're not watching her shows or something, so what?
Yeah, but as anybody.
I had my phone one day, and I was up visiting my friend Generalissimo Federico Beaton in Santa Barbara, and the thing lit up and said Oprah Winfrey is live. So I thought I'll take a look at this, and it had been raining that day up in Santa Barbara County, and apparently it rained on a backyard barbecue she had, and somebody was periscoping, and I heard she got perturbed that it went out, although she was leading the charge talking about it. Do they archive those periscopes after you do them? Can you look back there? Look up the Oprah Winfrey barbecue. It's good. Sad news, Jimmy Carter, possibly one of the worst presidents we've had in the United States, other than this current guy that's in there. But he has cancer and it's spread to his brain, but he seemed pretty sharp and seems like he's not done fighting. You gotta give him credit for that, to lead the charge for cancer victims everywhere. And, he has announced that he had surgery to remove a mass from his liver in early August, and, they're gonna be doing, he said he's not in pain, and, it's a melanoma that they have right now, so they're going to see if they can treat it for us. So our thoughts and prayers go out to he and his family. His lovely wife Rosalind is still with him too, and alive and everything. That's good.
Yes, she is.
So that's pretty interesting. You got some Donald Trump news when we come back. And Patrick Stewart, are you a big fan of Patrick Stewart? Star Trek: The Next Generation. He was.
How can you not be? How can you?
I always thought he was a little stiff in that role.
Well, but it doesn't matter.
Compared to the famed American icon William Shatner, Picard was always a little stiff.
Yeah.
And if I'm going to get on an Enterprise, I want to be on Kirk's Enterprise, not Picard's. Picard is sits there, looks like he never really has a smile or anything, you know?
It's not his, but it's what he does that makes it work.
He would just, probably gives the orders out in Shakespeareese or something. Go thou and kill the Klingons.
Yeah.
Come downeth from their stareth and sitteth with me.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to go to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Good afternoon, Mr. Phelps. Southern California is inundated with restaurants vying to vanquish Columbo's, and none have succeeded. Your mission, Jim, is to further enlighten the populace regarding Columbo's and their absolutely delicious steaks. Seafood so fresh it'll make you blush. Family Italian specialties that put the competition to shame. Jazz every night along with their world-renowned meatballs. The code words for this assignment, Mission Impasta Visual. As always, should you or any of the force be caught, the Secretary will disavow any knowledge of your actions, but looks forward to seeing you at that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's. This disc will self-destruct in 5 seconds. Good luck, Jim, and manja.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names.
Really?
They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
If you're struggling to find reliable senior living information for your mom or dad, then call or go online to get the free help you need during this turbulent time. Call now, 800-471-5173, 800-471-5173.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
The Doug Stephan Good Day program, early morning radio, and I guess it is radio, although it's radio on TV because this is CRN Digital Talk. You can find out what's going on in the world. We talk about the issues of the day, the events of the day, the people that people are talking about. We have an interesting way of looking at the news and having a little fun with the issues. So if you want to have some fun, learn a few things, and get up on the right side of the world, Doug Stephan's Good Day program, weekday mornings, 2 to 7 a.m. on CRN Digital Talk.
TM Show Weekend Edition from CRN Digital Talk Radio. Mission Impasta Fazul. I like that. Columbo's.
Wow, yeah.
Good stuff here. I'm Michael Horn, Scott St. James with us, Paul Stern. So Donald Trump is in the news, and he says Rosie O'Donnell saved him during the Republican debate. And he said he's had a tough relationship with Rosie O'Donnell, but in a recent interview, he said that she saved him during this past Republican debate. During the Ohio debate, Megyn Kelly called out Donald Trump for his past comments in which he called women fat pigs and slobs with no real response that he had queued up. He quipped only Rosie O'Donnell. Anyway, it was a tasteless jab, got a significant laugh out of the Republican audience, which allowed him to dodge the question. He revealed, Rosie actually saved me because that was a rough question. So, Rosie, you finally saved me because the room went wild between the laughing and the applause. It really stopped the rest of the question, which was just the continuation of kill, as he said. It was a question that could have ruined the whole evening. So, he said that a lot of his offensive comments about women came from past interviews with Howard Stern. Now, who on the Howard Stern show, especially when he's on Sirius XM, come on. Howard pulls all that stuff out of you. And it was long before his campaign days. And he says, Donald Trump said, when you're with Howard, You're talking. I never intended to be running for president. You're talking. You're having fun. You're a real big real estate developer and a big businessman, and what you say doesn't matter. Today, I wouldn't say that. I mean, it's true. You have to have a decorum of what you're doing, and I think if people come up and say the context of where things were said, maybe you buy what the deal was. Obviously, I'm not a listener to Howard Stern because that is that kind of language on there. And if you are going to trounce Donald Trump for it, then you should trounce Howard Stern for it and everybody else. Correct? Scotty?
I think the one thing that anybody should really pay attention to is that to sell this guy's story short is stupid, because this guy is a billionaire. Yes, he's a little bit of an oddball and everything else. But as days go by here, and if you're not paying attention, you're going to be watching a guy become the president. And I'm not suggesting that one way or the other. But this guy is serious business. At first, I don't think anybody thought he was serious. But I think anybody now, you've got to understand, not you, the collective you got to understand something. This guy is serious business. Is he going to win? I don't know. None of us knows.
Well, you got to watch your language too. Here's a story for you too. Foul language, FOWL, at the heart of a family dispute. It was bird-brained in a city over in Europe, or Middle East, actually. An 85-year-old woman allegedly was cursing, but it was a parrot that was doing this. The parrot reportedly trained for 2 years in the finer points of obscenity by his owner, and so the parrot was detained by police for shouting obscenities. That's one of the weird stories of news that came our way. Anyway, so Patrick Stewart, he's at Star Trek, Captain Picard, and they say don't ever ask him this question because whatever you do, he doesn't like it. And it says apparently he was doing an interview on Blunt Talk on Stars, and they were asking him questions about his role in the Next Generation and X-Men. While showing the greatest respect to Star Trek, any question about Star Trek is likely to produce that effect. For me, it's ancient history. We finished filming the last episode 21 years ago. To find that I'm still being asked questions about Star Trek, questions I often can't remember the answers to. In other words, don't ask him anymore.
Well, okay.
I guess he's not going to be at any of those conventions.
Guess not.
So, finally, this man dug up a grave to argue with the corpse. Apparently it was they couldn't bury their dispute over all those years, so this guy was arrested after an officer saw him digging up a grave at a cemetery in Sanford, Kentucky. The May told the arresting officer he was trying to dig up the grave of his father so he could argue with him. Gotta get him on the... Got to get on the couch and talk to that guy, get him cleansed out a little bit.
Had to say something.
All right, we got to get out of here. That's our show. Thank you, Scott St. James. Thank you, Paul Stern. Thank you, Tomas. Thanks to Courtney Cadera, executive producer. Thank you all for listening. Check us out on the web at crntalk.com. I'm Michael Horn. Have a great weekend.
CRN Digital Talk Radio prides itself on being the station of every situation. And you can listen to us on nearly any platform and device. Download to your iPhone, Android, and BlackBerry episodes of What's Cookin'. And take Master Sommelier